Alright, so today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make a Russell Westbrook build on the 2K26 builder. This is one of the first builds I made this year, and I think it's a lot of fun. I gotta preface by saying it's not like a meta build. It's not going to be the best build that you could possibly make. It's just for fun. You're going to go to point guard. Russell Westbrook is listed at 6'4", so that's what I went with. For the wingspan, I think his wingspan is even longer than this, but it maxes out at 6'10", so that's where you're gonna have to put it. Now, I put the weight all the way up to 225 pounds, and that is to really maximize our defensive and offensive rebounding capabilities. Westbrook, obviously, one of the greatest rebounders, rebounding guards, if not the greatest that the league has ever seen, so we want to make sure that we can go ahead and give him that. Alright, starting off, the close shot is going to be going up to a 75. It's going to give you hook specialist. Paint prodigy, you're not really going to be shooting hook shots, but it helps for like floaters and stuff if you want to shoot those. And it is boosted up anyways because of the layup. So the layup is going to go all the way up to an 80. You're not really going to be taking too many layups on this build because it does get a legend posterizer, not even with the max plus 1 or max plus 2s, it just gets it off rip provided you have a few cap breakers. So you're not going to be going to the layup very often, but it is good to have. Now for the driving dunk, I know I said that you get legend posterizer, and that doesn't look like it right there. But if you have 5 cap breakers and you put all 5 on the driving dunk right there, that takes it all the way up to a 99, which is pretty crazy. But yeah. You're not going to touch the standing dunk. I think it gets boosted maybe by the vertical, but you're not going to get any standing dunk animations, so you're not even going to worry with it. Now, post control is something I know a lot of people don't really like to put on their build, but I really like it. I think it's helpful for, if you get like a real small dude on you, you can go to like post spins and even drop steps and stuff like that. But it's just really good for the post fade phenom badge. If you shoot like hop shots and fades and stuff, I don't know. I just think it's really fun. Especially with this dunk and layup and everything. So now Westbrook, especially back in his days with the Oklahoma City Thunder, his mid-range game was pretty good. So I went ahead and I put mine up to an 88. Now I know the 88 doesn't actually give you anything, but if you have one cap breaker like I do, I put one right here, take it up to an 89 to get the gold set shot specialist. Three-pointer, Russell Westbrook has never really been a great three-point shooter, but he is, decent, and it is a video game. You want to be able to knock some three-point shots down, so I went with a 75. That's absolutely enough to shoot, open stuff, but you're not going to be doing anything crazy from there. For free throw, play a lot of rec and everything like that, so I went with a 78 just to be able to make sure I could knock those down. Westbrook, also a pretty good playmaker. He averaged a triple-double for multiple seasons. You got to be able to pass the ball. So I went with an 85 here. That also will give you gold versatile visionary, gold dimer, and the bailout badge. And also the break starter you would think would be kind of useless on a point guard build. But because of the rebounding that you're going to have, it actually is pretty useful. Westbrook able to handle the ball pretty well. I went with an 86 here, and I have gotten more cap breakers throughout the seasons, so I put 4 here, taking it all the way up to a 90. Westbrook, obviously a great athlete, very, very fast with the ball. I went with an 86. You can absolutely put this higher, and if you're looking to get absolutely all of his animations, then you do need to put this up to an 87 to unlock his dribble style. That's just not something I really care about all that much, but it would have been nice to have, and you still can just go with an 86 and cap break it. Alright, for your interior defense, you're just going to go with a 60. Perimeter defense, you're going to go to a 79. Now, that seems very strange. As you can see, when I move it up and down, it doesn't really change anything. But for, I think, the next 3 cap breakers, if you want to put on perimeter D, each of those 3 give you a +3 value. So I put 2 on here, taking it up to an 85 to get all the silver badges. And the same sort of deal with the steal. I went with a 60. But you get really good value out of your cap breakers here. So I put 2, which takes it all the way up to a 73, which gives you a silver interceptor and also bronze glove. Now Westbrook is, for a point guard, he's really good at getting blocks just because of his athleticism and his awareness. So the block, I went up to a 70 here. 68 is what you need for the high flying denier badge, but I just wanted to, give him a little bit more. Now this is probably my favorite part about the build. You get some crazy putback dunks. You can snag some crazy rebounds. So for the offensive rebound, you're going to max it out at a 77. And for the defensive rebound, you're going to put it up to an 80. And as you can see, that gives you both silver box out beast and rebound chaser. Now, moving on to the physicals. Westbrook, like I mentioned before, a crazy athlete. So I went with an 88 speed. You can absolutely put that higher, but that's just what I did. For the agility, I went with an 83. Again, with the cap breakers, if you want to put anything on there, that gives you really good value. I think +2s all the way up. So, and I think I ended up putting 1 there to take it to an 85. Now the strength is something that if I were to remake it, again, that I would probably put down a little bit. I wouldn't go super low like a 50 like a lot of people have, but an 85 strength I think is probably a little bit overkill, but it is super cheap. And you do get the strong handle, physical finisher, the post powerhouse badge, and the immovable enforcer if you put your defense up. So it's not bad, but I don't think it's the most important. So if you want to switch it around a little bit, feel free. And obviously the vertical, we need to have it be a 90 in order to get the legend posterizer. So I put mine to an 88. If you do 1 cap breaker on that, it takes it to a 90. Alrighty, so here we get our archetype name is the physical mid-range high flyer. I think that sums up Russell Westbrook pretty well. We don't get shades of Russell Westbrook, but that would change, with the cap breakers and everything. So it's not something that I really pay attention to. As you can see, the strengths and the weaknesses there. One of the weaknesses is that the jumper can't hit the broadside of a barn, which, is a little bit insulting, but I promise it's not really going to be a problem when you're out there actually playing. And alrighty, y'all, here's the cap breaker section. And if I go here, you see the +3s on the driving dunk, taking it up to a 99, the 1 on the mid-range, 4 on the ball handle, a little bit on the defense, and a little bit on the physicals. Now I'll say, you may not have as many cap breakers as I do, or you may have more, but obviously if you have more, it's not going to be an issue. If you have fewer than I do, and say you only have like 5 or 6 or something like that, I would 100% recommend doing the driving dunk. I would do all 5 and then remember to do 1 on the vertical. So you do need 6 to be able to enjoy the 99 driving dunk and the 90 vertical for the legend posterizer. But even if you don't have that many, if you only have like 2 or 3, this can still be a good build for you. Hope it's been helpful, and thank y'all for watching.